we did the introduction of financial management as an area to study, we also did that we covered the portion where we discussed the three main decisions made under financial management, which were the financing decision, the investment decision, and the third decision was the dividend decision. So basically, what your financial requirements are, how do you raise the funds, and then if everything goes smooth, the firm is earning profits, then how do you distribute those profits, those earnings? All this is covered through this cycle. Now, when we uh, talk about investment, since we'll be focusing on the investment decision here, we talk about investment in long term assets. But what needs to be kept in mind is the long term assets cannot function without the availability of current assets. So, the difference between the two long term assets are the economic assets which are generating revenue for the firm and are available with the firm for a period more than 1 year. On the other hand, current assets are available with the firm for a period less than 1 year and required for day to day working of the firm. So in the chat box, just put in names of some current assets you can think of. Start putting names, examples of current assets. First, oh, okay, good. Yes, apart from cash, so cash in hand, cash at bank is example of current asset. Inventory is example of current asset. Apart from that, all of you have covered accounts. Any other example that comes to your mind? Okay, stationery, yes, that would be a current asset depending on the scale of operation of the business. Marketable securities, very good. They are also part of the current assets of the firm. And I think you people missed out debtors. Debtors are also part of the current assets. So your cash in hand, cash at bank, stock, marketable securities, debtors, prepaid expenses, these all are part of your current assets. Now, if a company, if a firm, if a organization is not keeping a track of the working capital requirements, current asset requirements, and ensuring that enough backup is there of the current assets, then in case of failure to meet the requirement of current asset, your long term assets might also be rendered useless. So if you get the best of the machine with the best of technology, get it installed in your factory, it won't run until and unless there is raw material, unless and until you are making payment of the electricity bill. Okay, so any hiccup or any failure at the short term asset end would render the best of long term assets useless. So, to ensure the smooth functioning of the firm, to ensure the smooth day to day operations of the firm, it is very necessary to keep a track and meet the working capital requirements of the firm. So this was about the introduction of working capital. Very rightly said, it is the lifeblood of the business. So just like circulation of blood is necessary in our bodies, working capital circulation in the business is very important for the survival of the business. So funds required to meet day-to-day expenses form part of the working capital. These funds circulate very fast in the business. Okay, so today you have cash, tomorrow you purchase raw material. After a point of time, it becomes a finished good. It is sold in the market. You again get cash. So the circulation of cash in the business is quite quick. Even if you are selling the finished goods on credit basis, you will have debtors, which are again current assets, which will again in a short period of time be converted into cash. So this movement in the current assets is quite quick. That is why working capital is also known as the revolving or circulating capital. Now the assets keep on changing form. The simple cycle I told you, cash becomes raw material becomes finished good again becomes cash. So this movement between the assets is on a continuous basis, and the firm needs to make sure that at any given point of time, a minimum working capital stock or inventory is available with it. Now, coming to the types or kinds of working capital. Now, this minor introduction we did in accounts also, that there are two types of working capital on the basis of concept: gross working capital and net working capital. Gross working capital is the sum total of all the current assets with the firm. On the other hand, net working capital is current assets minus current liabilities. Now, current assets, sum total, gross working capital, net working capital also considers the current liabilities. Current liabilities, again, I would ask you for examples in the chat box for current liabilities. Please put examples in the chat box. Which are the current liabilities that come to your mind? Yes, absolutely right. Creditors is the biggest current liability, which almost every business has. Short-term debt taken, absolutely right. Apart from this, you can say bills payable are also the current liabilities, or any outstanding expense for that sense with the firm is the current liability of the firm. Now, what is the benefit of current liabilities? The salaries and wages, if they are outstanding, then it will be current liability. If they are already paid, then it is a simple expense for the business, and it will come in profit and loss account on the debit side. Okay. Now, the what is the benefit of current liabilities? Current liabilities are the liabilities that need to be paid within a period of 1 year. The benefit of having a current liability is that you can delay the payment of cash there, and then that cash will be available in the business. So the purpose of taking current liabilities in working capital is because of this current liability also some additional current assets were available with the firm. So we need to consider that part, and that is why while calculating net working capital, we take current assets minus current liabilities. On the basis of need, you see two types of working capital requirement. One is a permanent working capital, the other is temporary working capital. Now, class, permanent and temporary, literal meaning. Permanent working capital would be the amount of working capital that is required on a consistent basis in the business. So, a certain percentage, a certain amount, the business by experience knows that okay, this much amount or this much cash should be handy at all times. That would be the permanent working capital. Temporary would be the one which fluctuates as and when the need arises. So let's take a simple example. प्रोडक्शन ऑफ बटन्स है आपकी फैक्ट्री में और आपको ये पता है कि मिनिमम टू मिनिमम हर डे पे डेली बेसिस पे 20 to 25,000 कैश इन हैंड होना चाहिए बट ड्यूरिंग द पीक सीजन your 25,000 requirement of working capital increases to 50,000 because of additional production. So this temporary additional need of 25,000 over the permanent 25,000 always available is the temporary working capital. So it is as and when the need arises, some percentage of temporary working capital might also be required in the business. So this is basically the explanation for gross working capital, which is equal to total current assets, as you can see. Also, there are 2 3 points given here. Gross concept gives the idea about liquidity and profitability of the business. So liquidity is the ease with which the firm is able to convert its current assets into liquid cash. So we say the most liquid current assets are cash in hand is most liquid, followed by cash at bank. Marketable securities are very liquid. Marketable securities are these securities in form of shares, debentures, mutual funds that can be easily bought and sold. So they have a market demand always available, and whenever you want to convert them into cash, you can easily convert them into cash. Now, the debtors they fall somewhere down the line because debtors though they are current assets उनको cash में convert करने में time लगता है and followed by in terms of liquidity these all current assets are then followed by the fixed assets profitability का भी आइडिया हो जाता है liquidity profitability actually both these concepts in the coming slides we will do in detail they're actually uh, a trade off they are into a trade off when we talk about the working capital requirements in this domain working capital के domain में we need to achieve a balance between liquidity and profitability. Every increase in current borrowings will increase current assets. Very obvious. As I explained you, if your creditors are giving you time to make payment of these raw material purchase, your current assets are increasing. If you are taking a short-term debt, your current assets are increasing. So indirect impact of current liabilities is seen under the gross working capital concept, but direct impact of current liabilities is visible in the net working capital, where you take the difference between current assets and current liabilities. So this is giving you an idea of the liquidity of the business, and how much to invest in current assets. Regular or fixed versus seasonal or fluctuating working capital requirements that I have already told you. This is a graph which is representing the same. On the y-axis, you have the amount of working capital. On the x-axis, you have time. So, line which is parallel to the x-axis is the permanent or fixed working capital, which is same irrespective of the time period. But with time, when there is some additional working capital requirement which fluctuates between time periods, seasonal जो requirements होती हैं, you see line above the permanent capital which is showing you the temporary or variable working capital. Okay, this is what is very important also from your exam point of view. How is there a trade-off between liquidity and profitability? Now, as already explained, liquidity is keeping more money in hand, keeping higher investment in working capital. On the other hand, for profitability, what would you want? You would want that you take out the working capital, you take out the cash and invest it in the opportunities available before the firm. So profitability basically means low investment in working capital because you are not keeping the cash and near cash holdings as stagnant. You are putting them to a productive use. But how to achieve this balance? Because more liquidity has positives. मोर लिक्विडिटी का मतलब है कि आप सेफ हो, आपके पास हमेशा एक बैकअप है कैश का, पर उसमें नेगेटिव क्या है? यू आर नॉट पुटिंग दैट मनी इनटू a profitable venture and you're not growing that money. So it is less profitability. More liquidity is less profitability. On the other hand, profitability, जहां जहां प्रॉफिटेबल अपॉर्चुनिटी दिखी, आपने पैसा उसमें इन्वेस्ट कर दिया. But that also means now you have less amount available in working capital. So though your business might be more profitable now, but it is at a higher risk because of low liquidity. So how to achieve a balance between liquidity and profitability? That is one of the areas where the financial experts are working in the company. That how working capital management requirement should be decided, how it should be maintained. Okay, so in this explanation, also one of the key objectives of working capital management is to ensure liquidity. So this has been explained here. A business with insufficient working capital, which means that more investment in financial opportunities and less in working capital means that the firm will be unable to meet its obligations as they fall due. उसमें क्या है, जो आप सैलरी वेजेस की बात कर रहे हो उसकी पेमेंट में डिले होगा, डिले इन पेमेंट टू द सप्लायर्स, टू द क्रेडिटर्स. Now this will have repercussions for the firm. If you are delaying the payment of wages and salaries, your staff will not be happy with you. Their loyalty towards the organization also falls. If you're not paying your creditors on time, again, your goodwill with the creditor is damaged. You lose out on certain creditors, and that also impacts your market standing. As I told you, the goodwill of the firm will be impacted, your credit rating will fall. The other key objective is profitability. Now, if the funds are tied up in working capital in large amount, they are actually not giving any return. जैसे हम बोलते हैं कि घर पे कैश है और आपके सेविंग्स अकाउंट में कैश है, बैंक में कैश है, उसमें क्या डिफरेंस है? The amount of cash kept at your homes is not growing. After 10 years, after 15 years, you will have the same amount with you if it is kept in cash at, say, in your locker, in your homes. It will not grow. But even if you keep the same amount of cash in a simple savings account, you're earning some interest. There will be some addition to the amount deposited. Coming to the business straight away, same example, you keep cash with yourselves in the business as working capital, it is not growing. The same cash, when invested in a profitable venture, and if things turn out to be good, that will actually grow. So determining the appropriate level of working capital is nothing but a trade-off between liquidity and profitability. Okay, so need for working capital. Before that, we see the operating cycle of working capital. Now, operating cycle of working capital is applicable both to manufacturing firms and service providers. So though the operating cycle you can clearly see on your screens also, though the service provider has a shorter operating cycle, but operating cycle is present and working capital requirements are there even with a service based firm. So सर्विस प्रोवाइडर शॉर्टर वर्किंग कैपिटल साइकिल जो है कैश because there's no stocking up, no manufacturing. You start with cash, you render a service, sales takes place. If sales is on credit basis, you directly, sorry, if it is on cash basis, you directly go to cash. If it is on credit basis, you first go to debtors. Debtors will then ultimately be converted into cash. On the other hand, with the manufacturer, you see a longer operating cycle. You start with cash, purchase stock, raw material, payment to the supplier. Then there might be, now this payment to the supplier will be when you have made immediate cash payment of the raw material. Otherwise, you see a creditor here. Then work in progress, you start working on the raw material. Then from work in progress, you move to finished goods, which are then sold in the market. If they are sold on cash basis, you directly move here. If on credit basis, you have debtors in between, and then those debtors will be converted into cash. So now the operating cycle of a firm depends on the length of operating cycle of a firm depends on the nature of operation the business is into. So operating cycle is basically the time gap between production of goods and their actual realization after sales, that is starting with cash and ending on cash. The operating cycle of the business. So production of goods and actual realization after cash is the length of time period between the company's outlay on raw materials and other expenses and up to the point where there is inflow of cash through the sales in the business. So the concept of working capital, the concept of operating cycle is very important. Now, operating cycle से broader concept हो जाता है working capital cycle, that also we'll do. We'll do this practically also. And obviously, a firm would prefer a shorter operating cycle so that you get cash inflows in the business as quickly as possible. So I'll stop here. We'll do the calculation of operating cycle with the practical questions tomorrow onwards.